The chief of Spotify expressed a bitter but just opinion about Meghan, criticizing her lack of talent and hypocrisy. Greetings to all, and a warm welcome back to the Princess Diana News channel. A Spotify executive hinted today that the £18 million podcast agreement with Harry and Meghan was unsuccessful due to the minimal fulfillment it brought to the audience, resulting from the couple's creation of solely 12 podcast episodes over 2.5 years. Daniel Egg recently appeared in the media, breaking his silence after nearly 4 months since the announcement that the Archetypes podcast would not return for another season. During his appearance, he candidly acknowledged that the series did not possess any captivating elements. Naturally, it was discovered that Meghan's lucrative contract with Spotify was finalized in June following a supposedly unanimous agreement between Spotify and R12 Audio. Insiders involved in the lucrative agreement reveal that, despite being signed by Meghan and Harry in 2020, it was ultimately terminated as they did not generate sufficient material to justify the complete financial settlement. The Spotify executive, in a recent statement, offered insights into the reasoning behind the non-renewal of Harry and Meghan's contract. He informed the BBC, "We concluded that Meghan's opinions on feminism and her personal insights did not resonate with the majority, as they lacked interest in her perspective. Moreover, individuals well-versed in feminist theory have progressed beyond her ideas, surpassing the viewpoint she held back in the 1960s. Meghan lacks sophistication in her thinking. A female student studying women's studies in Year 12 has room for improvement." He further added that Meghan's sole focus of conversation revolved around herself incessantly. She monopolized the conversation, preventing her guests from adequately responding to her questions, as she continuously interrupted them with anecdotes about her own experiences. Due to her lack of likability and talent, along with her hypocritical nature, it is understandable why nobody is interested in tuning in to her podcast. Individuals are required to make a purchase, but Meghan lacks any form of appeal or attractiveness. They covered every possible topic regarding Harry's family. There is simply no other aspect of Meghan and Harry's lives that captures attention. Many of us chose to disregard their message as we easily perceived their hidden motives. Surely, the podcast series presented by Meghan would have lacked appeal to most individuals. Let's proceed, shall we? The entire concept was deeply embedded within the fantasy realm in which she resides. It bore no relation to the real world. People had a desire to hear from individuals who had achieved success. Meghan doesn't hold much value for anyone to invest their time and money in. Let's examine the changes made to Invictus, as an instance. The main focus of Invictus was intended to center around the courageous veterans. However, were there any mentions or focus on them? No, all the attention was on Meghan. The issue lies in the fact that Harry and Meghan are their own most ardent supporters. They possess the belief that they can simply fabricate information, expecting people to find it highly captivating. Presently, it is apparent that there are still a handful of supporters who remain blinded by their actions. However, the number of people currently involved does not justify the significant amount of resources allocated to them. I must clarify that I'm not an authority on the matter, but it appears evident that their lack of ability to bring contentment to others contributes significantly to their track record of unsuccessful endeavors. Who would be interested in tuning into a podcast where an individual talks about their personal experiences as a victim and attempt to correct falsehoods, despite lacking any charm, intrigue, or uniqueness, and presenting their ideas in an offensive manner? Meghan's attempt at creating an Archetypes podcast series was a total disappointment. In other words, the content was extensively modified and Spotify had to allocate significant resources, including hiring over 20 individuals, on top of the existing production team. This incurred a considerable cost to Spotify, in addition to the already substantial amount they were paying, approximately £20 million, for Harry and Meghan. Meghan's interviewing skills left much to be desired, making her one of the most pathetic interviewers I have ever encountered. She was so eager to talk about herself that she didn't let her guests finish speaking. Wow, I can't help but envy the incredible offer that Spotify extended to those two individuals. I assure you that I would have performed significantly better. I would have made an attempt and invested my energy. There are numerous highly skilled individuals who miss out on the chance to host their own podcast series. Meghan was given a chance, and see how she made the most of it. She wasted it, much like she wastes every other thing. However, the podcast series effectively demonstrated Meghan's rudeness. The CEO's resignation following the archetypes controversy would have been appropriate long ago, yet he remains steadfast in his position. If Spotify were to create podcasts inspired by the South Park Worldwide Privacy Tour episode, I strongly believe they would attract a significant listenership. That would be highly appealing to people. However, the most astonishing part is that they were willing to offer such a large sum of money to individuals who lacked any prior experience in that particular field. Wow, that's quite a costly method to discover that customers were dissatisfied with their offerings. I could have easily provided that information, without requiring any payment. Regrettably, that is the nature of this industry. They are absolutely delighted to generously compensate those individuals whom they believe will deliver exceptional results in exchange for a significant sum. However, in the event that they are unable to generate compelling content that captures people's attention, they will inevitably suffer financial losses. In the end, business is purely about conducting business. I believe that corporations are gradually coming to the realization that Meghan and Harry are displaying tendencies of indolence. They lack motivation for work. Their repetitive tactic has been excessively utilized, resulting in the pony being transported towards the glue production facility. I am skeptical about Netflix's intentions to further exploit the potential of those two. Can you share your thoughts on this topic? I would appreciate it if you could provide your opinion in the comments below so we can have a discussion about it. Before we wrap up, let's briefly discuss the insightful comments that were shared on the video titled "All is Fake?" Unraveling the truth behind Harry and Meghan's challenging marriage. As usual, there were numerous outstanding comments that I won't be able to cover in their entirety, but I'll make an effort to highlight the most noteworthy ones. The initial submission originates from the admirers of Queen Elizabeth. Clearly, it is an unfortunate and heartbreaking event. Both individuals have become incredulous members of the community. Harry's potential as a valuable contributor to the royal family has been squandered. How does that happen? It is the result of Harry displaying a significant flaw in his decision-making. As an unintended consequence, he lacks the ability to effectively handle finances. Realization of the truth may eventually resonate with them, but it hasn't happened yet. And when it does happen, it is most likely to happen after a divorce takes place. I believe this comment is truly exceptional. Well, unfortunately, it has turned into a tragic situation. You're right, this entire situation is exceedingly disheartening. Although we may find amusement in their situation, if we pause to analyze it, we cannot overlook the fact that Harry's potential was tragically unrealized. Regarding Meghan, it is difficult to determine her potential, but it is evident that her current state falls short of what could have been expected. I am confident that they will eventually come to face the truth. I concur with your viewpoint. The timing for this will come after their eventual divorce. What will be Harry's physical condition? It is uncertain, but witnessing it will be quite sorrowful. Following that comment, a response from Jeanette was visible. Harry was someone who no one could possibly admire or hold in high regard. Now, not only did he give permission, but he also actively participated in the assaults against his own relatives. A true man would engage in a conversation with his spouse. Furthermore, the aforementioned statement can be similarly applied to a spouse exhibiting inappropriate conduct in a public setting. Harry's lack of concern is evident as he does not seem to care about his wife's inappropriate behavior in public, and she should address the issue with him. Jeanette, you've raised an excellent and thought-provoking point. Harry could have done a more effective job of managing her behavior. Perhaps your perspective is correct. He simply lacks concern. I believe it's highly likely. In my opinion, and likely for numerous others too, the most distressing moment was when he remained seated while Meghan performed that dreadful mock curtsy. In my perspective, he has crossed a boundary that seems unrectifiable. Zelda's concise remark effectively points out that there is an absence of children, therefore it is inappropriate to refer to them. Everything is counterfeit. I tend to lean towards your perspective, Zelda. The following comment comes from Snowy's mother, expressing disappointment over the Queen's choice not to wear a blue outfit for the so-called wedding. It has been proven that whenever the Queen chose to wear blue attire to a wedding, the result was the unfortunate dissolution of the couple's marriage. First, there was Princess Margaret. There are two Princess Annes. There were three individuals named Charles and Diana. There were three individuals named Andrew, and Fergie. The Queen adorned herself in a stunning shade of blue while the couples decided to dissolve their marriages. I was unaware of that, but indeed, you are correct. I couldn't agree more. I really hoped she would have chosen to wear blue. To be completely frank, I believe that Meghan and Harry are inevitably bound to divorce, regardless of any other factors. Subsequently, Zelda added another comment. These individuals represent some of the most notorious fraudsters originating from the United States. She is fully deserving of everything that is coming her way. In all honesty, she deserves a lengthy incarceration period. She definitely needs to, and the situation isn't finished until it's finished. It wouldn't astonish me if Meghan Markle eventually faces imprisonment for her numerous offenses. At some point, she will encounter someone who will be her downfall. I'm curious if Meghan will ever abandon her self-centered behavior, chilly bird. Probably not. Harry is the adorable little pet dog that she has. He is indeed a pitiful individual. Next, there is an included in the discussion. As long as Harry's bank account remains active, she will continue to cling to the prince, firmly grasping his arm, even if the attention of the cameras is focused on him. Her face splits into two with her new teeth, accentuating her wrinkles even more. And, despite what others may think, believes she appears attractive. That is the astonishing aspect of the whole situation. In addition, we have Luke, who embodies pure malevolence. He quickly recognized her true nature upon their engagement. By observing her body language, I detected that there was something amiss with her intently observing manner. I believe that we all share the same sentiment as you. I believe it would be highly unlikely for any of us to ever grant her forgiveness. She has engaged in a myriad of wicked actions. Lexi Bear expressing a contrasting viewpoint. Apologies, but I disagree with your viewpoint. Howard enjoys being the center of attention, but solely when he's the focus. Why would he choose to remain indoors, solely engaged in playing video games, instead of participating in a game of hide and seek that is challenging due to the presence of unseen individuals? As an adult, it is important to act maturely rather than behaving childishly. It's possible that you're correct. Perhaps he truly enjoys the attention and thrives in the limelight. He claimed that the sight of camera flashes triggers his PTSD, which he deemed as utterly absurd. Based on his actions, Lexi, it seems that you are likely correct. He thoroughly enjoys being the center of attention. We appreciate you tuning in. However, I have reservations about both parties involved, including Teresa. Certainly not. If CRM companies have received funds, they should be required to reimburse that amount. Harry is in need of locating a group to belong to and assertively advocate for his own interests. Without respect and loyalty, one has nothing. I am relieved that Queen Elizabeth did not witness the excessive and unnecessary Sussex-related drama. I share the same opinion as you. They should definitely be compelled to return that money. I am certain that they have already utilized the funds, nevertheless. I completely share your view that it is fortunate that the Queen did not witness this event. Despite the fortunate circumstances of her presence for an extended period, it is unfortunate that she had to endure this. Discovering their documentary series, Harry's book, and the interviews would have caused immense pain to her heart. It is actually beneficial that she wasn't present during that whole situation. I appreciate your time and participation in our discussion. I have to end now, but I sincerely thank you for tuning in and joining this conversation. Before you leave, remember to show your support by liking and sharing our video with your friends. Also, make sure to subscribe to Princess Diana News channel for regular updates. Once more, I want to express my gratitude for your viewership, bid farewell, and anticipate our reunion tomorrow.